A few years ago, me and my friends were on a vacation. It was a trip we all were planning for a long time, and so I was happy to be finally being on a much needed vacation. We reached at the hotel a little late and were traveling the entire day. We had dinner and went back to our rooms. I have a habit of going for walks after dinner every night. This habit is such that if on nights I don't go for walks, I have trouble falling asleep. I did not want to ruin my vacation by being in a groggy mood the next day due to my lack of sleep, so I asked my friends whether they wanted to join me. Given how tired they were, I can totally understand why no one was interested. Nonetheless, I left the hotel alone. I decided to stick walking on the main road instead of going on the backside alleyway as I was not familiar to the area. Also, I thought it might be much more safer walking on the main road. I was not too far away from the hotel when I saw a man coming towards me from the opposite direction. I was on alert mode given it was too late for anyone to be out there. I kept walking, avoiding eye contact with the man as he passed me. Even though I did not look at him directly, I knew for sure that he was staring at me. It was enough for me to increase my walking speed. Maybe even he realized it. I soon reached the road which led to my hotel. Just out of pure intuition, I turned back once. I saw the man now coming after me. There was a fair distance between us, but now I was even more uncomfortable. I kept walking and soon reached close to the hotel. I once again turned back. This time, as soon as the man saw me looking at him, he began charging at me. He had something in his hand. It was too dark to know what it was, but I was sure I did not want to know. I began running and soon reached the hotel gate. The hotel security saw me running and asked me if I was okay. I told him about the man. He assured me not to worry about him and that he will keep an eye on any suspicious man around. It was a disturbing experience for me, and I wish it had ended there. In the morning, I told my friends about the incident. They knew I was disturbed and tried to make light of the situation. We had planned going to sightseeing that day. As our car was reaching the main road, I happened to look out of the window. At the corner of the road behind a tree, I saw that same man staring at me. I yelled at my friends to stop and pointed in the direction I saw the man. By the time I got their attention, the man mysteriously disappeared. I don't know if it was my imagination playing tricks on me, but it was enough to ruin the entire vacation. This incident happened when I was in college. Me and my friends decided to go to a resort town located a few hundred miles away from where we lived. We did not plan our journey properly, hence, as night approached, we were still more than 3 hours away from our destination. My friend who was driving the car was getting tired, and we also were not comfortable driving on a desolate highway late in the night. We decided to stop at the first hotel we see and have some rest for a few hours. The hotel we stopped at did not look appealing to any of us. It was an old, run-down hotel. They had not even bothered to change the broken signboard with the hotel's name on it. We checked in and went to our rooms. I shared the room with one of my friends, while my other friends occupied two more rooms. The receptionist remarked that we were the only guests in the hotel for the night. We thought that the remark was odd, but did not pay much attention to it. The hallways were even more creepier than the hotel's exterior. Lights were very dim, with too much space in between them. We were so creeped out that had any one of us insisted on not staying there, we all would have agreed. The rooms were surprisingly better than what we expected. This was a welcome relief, and we soon went off to sleep. I guess it was only a few hours since we had slept when we heard loud bangs from the hallway. Me and my friend got up and tried to look through the peephole if we could see anything. We saw that all our other friends were already out of their rooms. We opened the door and were wondering what the noise was when we heard the same noise again. My friend tried calling the reception, but the phone was dead. The sound was coming from the other side of the hallway towards the stairs. We quietly made our way in that direction. Towards the end of the hallway, there was a turn, and there were three more rooms with the staircase beside it. As soon as we reached that turn, one of my friends who was leading us gasped. We looked towards the rooms and saw that one of the room's doors was opening in a slow but steady motion. It was pitch black inside, and we couldn't see anyone moving the door. Each and every one of us had a terrifying expression on their faces. Before we could see anything, the door slammed again, making that same banging noise we were hearing all along. But this time, when the door slammed, the lights in the hallway also began flickering. This was the final nail in the coffin, as all of my friends and me ran towards our rooms. We packed our bags and within minutes and we ran towards the reception. The receptionist did not seem surprised on hearing our story. Her reaction made it obvious that this was not the first time she had heard this story. That made us want to leave the motel as quickly as possible. On our way to the resort, the fear and horror on our minds did subside. We were even able to make fun about the situation and laugh about it. I don't know if what we witnessed was supernatural or not, but we indeed got an interesting story to tell other friends and relatives. A few years ago, I went on a vacation with my cousins. It was an impromptu plan, and hence we hadn't planned out much regarding what we were going to do once we reached there. We reached at the hotel, checked in, and took some rest. The following day, we asked the hotel staff if they knew about any place nearby where we could go sightseeing. They suggested that we go to a nearby forest for a short hike up to the mountain. The mountain was known to provide some nice views of the surrounding forest and the lake nearby. We liked going on hikes, so this was something we knew we had to do. The forest was not too far away, so we reached the entrance within 15 minutes. We left our car and began walking on the narrow trail leading up to the mountain. After hiking for around half an hour, one of my cousins pointed at something. I looked in the direction and saw what appeared to be a rusted gate. We went near and tried to open it. Unsurprisingly, the gate was not locked. We went in, and behind the thickly grown vegetation, we saw tombstones lined one after the other. It did not take us too long to realize that we were at an abandoned cemetery. The cemetery itself was old, as many of the tombstones had dates on them even from the 18th century. Some of them were so old that erosion had made it impossible to read what was written on the stones. The hotel staff had not mentioned about the cemetery when they told us about the forest and the lake. Kept walking and found an abandoned building at the end. For some reason, we went inside. It was a rundown structure, probably dating back to when the cemetery was actually in use. The decay of the structure itself was beyond imagination, and we were having second thoughts about going in there. We were making sure that we stuck together in group and not wander alone. After going through a few rooms, we were beginning to lose interest and were thinking of leaving. Just then, we heard someone laughing from one of the rooms ahead we had not yet seen. It was a terrifying cackle, something which almost felt non-human. Despite this, our stupid selves kept walking towards the room. The person, whoever it was, kept laughing maniacally, with growing intensity as we got near the room. We saw that the room was surprisingly pitch black and there were no windows. My brother turned on his mobile flashlight and pointed it towards the room. We heard the laugh once more, and my brother turned the light towards the corner of the room. The light directly fell on the figure of a homeless person. Not just any homeless person, but dirty looking, with overgrown and wiring hair, almost hiding his face, wearing almost toned down clothes. The most disturbing thing was that he kept laughing as we screamed in horror and shock. Moreover, the flashlight revealed some shiny metal object in his hand. We all screamed and ran out of the room. He did not chase after us. We left the building and the cemetery quickly. We were disturbed with the incident but still managed to continue on the hike. We returned to the hotel but did not mention about the cemetery to anyone. The vacation was one of the best I ever went on, but even today I still think about the strange encounter with that man in that abandoned cemetery.